Yeah, you'd be Alfred.
I'm like, Master Wayne, you have to understand. Your parents told me. Look, this, my name's Michael Caine. It's like saying my cocaine, but Michael Caine is the same thing. All right, I'm done. That was terrible. Sorry to Michael Caine and to anyone watching. I apologize for that. But yeah, no, dude. But I agree. At the end of the day, it is kind of like there is that standout actor that you're like, God damn, he's good. And I think Peter, what is it, Peter
Peter Stormer.
Stormer, yeah, that guy just knocked it out of the park, man.
You haven't watched Prison Break, have you?
No, I've never, dude.
That's why I remember watching the trailer when they announced I think it was when they announced the release date, they released that trailer with him in it.
Right.
I was like, why do I remember that? And then in the back of my head, I was like, Fibonacci, like that's a Prison Break reference. And I was like, yes, that's Stormer. I was like, I know who that is. I love at that moment, because I always remember some actors doing just for their names and stuff, because like I've watched them in TV and whatever else. He's just such a good actor.
Yeah, well, I was going to add to that, though. The one thing I hated about his character was, and, I mean, it's kind of a cool exit, because he basically says, fuck you, Josh, and just, like, pimps away. But, like, I felt like, I wish there was more for that character. Like, he just kind of literally disappears, and then he's gone for the rest of the game. And I get it. He's supposed to be a fictional version of the real Dr. Hill in Josh's mind, but I don't know.
Well, he does disappear in chapter 10, though, at the end of the game.
Yeah, so he's there, up until the end, but
I think the thing is, though, Dr. Hill as a character, for me, represents more than just questioning Josh's sanity, more about questioning yours. Because the entire point is the first three episodes, per se, of what they call them in the game, that was basically me thinking they were really breaking the fourth wall. Where he keeps talking to you, and he's like, you're playing a game, and I was like, who's the killer now? Because this doesn't really make sense of like the fact. I thought it was going to be almost like actually I can't say this because it's a Spoilercast for itself in a different, whatever else. But I mean, like it's almost like, because it's a recently released game anyway, so I can't really say.
Right.
Actually, no, jump ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. But it's like Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right.
Do you know where it's like almost like you are the player, like it's almost going to do that thing where it's like breaking to the fourth one, and that's the twist. But I'll stop now because someone's going to jump at that. But like it was that kind of thing where I was sitting there.
You said
like,
30 seconds. We still got 15. Go at it. I'm kidding.
No. just like really free. They can list that Spoilercast of themselves, but. I think, like, for me, it was great, though, because that was one of the best things about what they were doing, because they were messing the fact that, as you said, like, he is a figment of Josh's imagination at the end, but the entire point is that he has been there, because every episode he's asking why you are doing something, and it's like, he's not really asking for Josh's response, he's asking for yours to start off with, like, what scares you the most, what scares you this, this, and that, and it's almost like, why are you doing this to these people, like, this game has gone too far, he says it's this game, like, almost like, I know it's obviously he's talking about what Josh is doing, but it's kind of like that thing where, it's almost like directly looking at you as well, and how he sits in the camera, and like it's so great. I think the entire segments with Storm, I was like, what a great casting that was, and like Oreo stumbled onto like Hayden Panettiere, Brett Dalton, and Rami Malek, all these kind of like great actors. I was like, fab job, like great work for whoever was recruiting, for that, like, planning out and doing the casting stages and everything else. Absolutely fantastic. He is very much a horror cliche himself as well, Dr. Hill.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I felt like there's different stages, because when I first started playing it. By the way, let me, for the record, when I played this game sober, don't worry, but in my first playthrough, I was drunk in the opening chapter. So. But then, for subsequent playthroughs... You playing
games drunk. It's like when we asked you about Borderlands, you couldn't remember anything. It's like, well, that's helpful, Chris.
I know. I will never do it again. That's why I replayed it twice. But, yeah, no, I did play it the first time, and, like, immediately I'm like, whoa, this guy's a great actor. And I was really drunk, and I'm like, this shit's scary. And I'm like, wait, why am I wearing a baseball cap? I would never wear a baseball cap. But, like, as I kept thinking, I'm like, wait, is this... I thought initially that he was the killer, and that he had captured one of the that this was happening after the events of the game, and that he had captured one of the characters, and that's why they wear gloves and a baseball cap, and you never see the character or whatever. But then like after like I think another chapter, I started thinking, wait a minute, like exactly what you were thinking, like maybe I'm that dude, and this is just breaking the fourth wall. And what a fucking great role to do, huh? Like be the dude that breaks the fourth wall. Like that's like meat for an actor. You so want that. But no, and then when they did the thing, and in a way, dude, even after you obviously they linked it to the main game, and you find out this is just Josh imagining all this in his head. But even if they didn't do that, if it was like breaking the fourth wall, I think it could have worked. I think it would have worked in the story very well.
Yeah, I think it had potential in either way. But I think the Josh story is a little bit predictable. I saw that. Like that was the thing for me. Like I at mid points in the game, like I was basically like exiting the game on purpose, like because you can't quit. You have to close the application. I was closing it down and I was redoing certain choices because I wanted to see what the full effect of the butterfly effect is. Because some of the games like Life is Strange, Game of Thrones, I never really get the chance to go and do a second playthrough. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to see what they kind of what it would be like. Well, I mean, Life is Strange is a different example. I should scratch that because you can actually rewind and see what the choice is at the exact time. But like with what's it called, with Telltale games and like other ones, I wanted to see what the effects were. Some of them were really good. For example, do you remember the one where I told you about Ashley? It's like there's that noise down there.
Right.
Basically, I did that one and
scared the shit out of me, man.
Basically, and I got away from the actual thing and Ashley lived. Then basically, I went down there as well. I quit it and then went down there and went down there. I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to open the door. I just went past it. Mm-hmm. And the butterfly effect went again, and I went into the menu, and it said Ashley lives, and I was like, right, okay. And then I did it a third time, and I was like, yeah, she got killed. So I was like, okay, and then I reloaded my save anyway, because I was like, the first choice I'm going to go with all the way through.
Right.
So yeah, there's some really good choices in it. I think that there was some points where you can really kill off characters, like, it had that kind of thing where, I think like my favourite feature about this game is with Telltale as well, with some of the other ones, you don't have to do something. And that is where you're in such a precarious situation, because in the first part of the game, I kicked the wolf, so I lost the wolf. Do you when I got to the
shit, as Mike, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So with Mike, I kicked the wolf earlier on, and then it didn't return in episode 9, where I could use it as a guide. Because if that Wendigo attacks you as well, the wolf jumps in the way and dies.
Yeah.
But we can help it get out the actual out of the hospital if you walk with it, and it kind of like guides you through the entire thing. But like that's one example who did it. But then like another example is where I didn't shoot the squirrel, I didn't shoot attack the deers that had Mike on the end of the cliff. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many choices where I was like, you know what, I need to really think this. And like you have like 2 seconds after I kicked the wolf, because I was like, this fucking wolf's gonna come and attack me. But I mean, like one of the great ones is like when Mike gets his hand stuck in the bear trap. Mm-hmm. And they do that thing from the other side of the shot where it shows the wolf looking at you, and you can break it open or cut off his finger. Mm-hmm. And it's so great because that's such a great horror convention, just like the way it's building up to it. And then it's like the machete snaps. Because I think the first attempt I just got my finger out of it, mm-hmm. but I lost the machete because the machete snapped.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so great because when I was playing, like the thing is though, for me, there's no real replay value for Until Dawn. There's no real replay value because it's got because I feel like once you. With that kind of game, with horror games, with like, it loses its kind of like, first punch, so you're just running through the rest of the game.
Right.
And the jump scares all disappear. Like, I was just running through it on my second playthrough, because I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think it loses its purpose. Like, certain scenes lose purpose, definitely, on subsequent playthroughs. But, no, dude, I think, like, for me, it had great... I mean, I played the game 3 times in a row,
Well, I have played it, but I just think that it doesn't have the stellar replay value of, Telltale's The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead has like that thing where you can take different directions, like little nicks and knacks. But the only thing that you can really do in second playthrough is kill off characters and then change like little things. I don't think there's a huge, leap in kind of replay value where I'd be like, I need to play it again because I can do this and that. Because it is a horror game. At the end of the day, when you watch a horror movie. Like my first I even said like to you when I was playing this game, I was playing it at night every night in the dark. Mm-hmm. Just get that value of what they are trying to inject into it. Because you never get that experience again. Same with PT, it'll scare the living shit out of me still now when I play it. But yet it's still not got that first value that it did first time around. Because you know where things are, you know where something might happen, etc., etc. So I feel like that was kind of the thing for me. Because I did enjoy going back for replay value in the sense of getting the collectibles, like the 1952 and stuff like that. The little clues. I actually got a lot of them in my first playthrough, which I was shocked at. I think I was like maybe 2 or 3 off in each one. Yeah, I think I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the entire thing. I think like compared to Alien Isolation, the length of this game is perfect. It shows what a horror game should be. Even though it does kind of like rock, kind of trip over itself like at certain points because it is like a little bit too, it's got some filler segments, but overall it is really, really, really fantastic just for like certain moments. Like it's got great story arcs, it's got great storytelling, it's got a good sense of humor as well. Like again, it throws back to those films that it's it's paying homage to, because the entire point is that Supermassive Games said that if you read a lot of their interviews beforehand, they were saying that they were taking inspirations from those movies. Horror means dead. If you die, you die. That's why they don't give you a quit, and they don't give you a quit button in the menu or checkpoints and stuff, because they know that someone will try and like jump out the game at a certain point because they've done something. But it's like, no, you have to keep going. And like for me, it's fun. I saved everyone in my first playthrough. Just to let you know, I actually kept every single member alive. Chris, I think you knocked off a few people. I was right.
Yeah. Let me try to think now. My first playthrough. Okay, Mike lived. Let me look at the characters. This will help me. Okay, Mike definitely lived. Who else? Chris lived. Ashley lived. Emily lived. And I think that was it. Those were the only people. Sam died right at the end during that "don't move" part. I was so pissed. And then Josh died when his fucking head was crushed. And everyone else died. I think, what was it? Jessica died because I didn't hide at the end, and so the Wendigo killed me. And Matt died because I took too long trying to jump off. And so he gets hung by the fucking neck or something by the Wendigo. That was my first playthrough. And then on the second playthrough, dude, it was even worse. Everyone fucking died, basically. Except for, I think the only person that lived was... Who was it? It was Sam, and it was Ashley. Those are the only two people that lived in my second playthrough. It was, like, the worst. And Matt. That was it. Everyone else died. And, no! Fuck! Ashley died, too. It was Matt and Sam. Those are the only two people that lived at the end. It was terrible. And
look it out, Chris.
Yeah,
you should not be playing a horror game.
No, because that was the second playthrough was I did the opposite of what I would normally do. So naturally everyone fucking died. And then in my final playthrough, which I actually completed earlier this week, so I could be prepared for the podcast, I had everyone live. Hey folks, it's me, Chris, and I wanted to take a few seconds of your time to talk about this awesome new opportunity that we've been presented with for all of our lovely listeners. We can now offer you all a 1-month free trial from Audible.com, allowing you full access to a vast library of audiobooks to choose from. As I mentioned earlier, the trial is completely free, and all you have to do is visit audibletrial.com/GHS and follow the instructions to sign up for a free membership today. We hope you guys enjoy Audible just as much as we do, and thanks for your time.
I think at the same time I like my kind of final things anyway for the game is that I love the finale, the one that's set in the cabin, where it's like all of them together, like kind of like you have to do the Wendigo and you have to perfectly time it to get everyone out. I love that one, but at the same time I don't like how Jess and Mike are in that fucking mine in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that really just kind of feels, me.
Yeah, and then also the one where Josh is back in the those kind of. Those
I think it's
just felt
budgets. I think it was budgetary reasons because they can't imagine how expensive.
Could have got Kiefer Sutherland in, and then there was Jess's captures.
I'm here for you, Matt. Oh wait, that's David. I'm here for you, Matt. Come with me. But that's my Kiefer. But no, I agree, dude. I think that was kind of like a little bit of a cop out. Like you could tell, there's a lot of moments that you're like, wow, they did an alternate take for that. Ooh, they had a good budget. But then there were moments where ooh, they didn't use any of those. Like at the end where it's basically just Sam and Mike at the end doing something, and everyone else just runs out the door. And I thought that was so cheap. Why wouldn't the Wendigos go after them? Why are they so fixated on Sam and Matt? But you accept it. You're like, fuck it, man. If I could accept these kids acting really cool and shit after seeing someone get murdered, I can fucking accept that happening. But yeah, little bits like that, I agree, were kind of like wasted opportunities. I think if they ever, I know there's talk of like DLC or like a sequel or something. We actually spoke a little bit about that on yesterday's Gamer Headlines show, which you guys can check out now, gamerheadlines.com. But yeah, they like if they do that, I hope like they have a little bit more of a budget, so then they could just kind of like expand things like that a bit and like have even more options. Like that would be crazy, right? Like a shorter game but like way more scenarios, so the replayability is like through the roof. I would actually prefer that. So then it like encourages you to keep going back and replaying it over and over again.
Yeah. I think like this game would have benefited, and I don't know if they're still planning on doing it, like during the Heavy Rain Chronicles that you played.
Oh yeah,
with
still pissed
with Madison Payne. I think that this game could really do well with something like that.
Oh, super.
Because I think another thing I'm going to point out as well is this: like, there's an entire scene plucked from the game and used as a pre-order bonus.
Yeah,
and it's not even that big of a filler. So basically, it's the point where Matt and Matt and Emily.
Right.
Yeah, so they basically have to go and retrieve Emily's luggage because she forgets. Well, Matt presumably forgets about it. So there's a scene where they go and retrieve it, and they've cut that out because that's pre-order bonus,
which is bullshit.
and then you finally like re-catch up to. If you don't have that scene, you re-catch up to Emily and Matt all of a sudden. And you're basically like wandering, and you completely forget they're looking for the luggage. Like, I completely forgot what they were doing. I was like, what the fuck are they out here? I'm just like, it's so kind of stupid because that was a complete portion of the game, and that should have been on disc for everyone to play. Yeah. That is not a pre-order bonus at all. No justification for it at all.
I agree. I think like what happened was Sony's like, look, we got to push this pre-order shit. Like, what can you do? And they're like, well, I mean, this scene's kind of like, I guess we could delete it and it doesn't destroy the narrative that much. And that's what they did. I hope at the very least, I was actually, I spoke about this at Gamer Headlines. I commented to one of our listeners and I said that, honestly, like if they were to release that as DLC in the future, it depends on how it's priced because I've heard it's a very fucking short scene. So if it's like $1 or like, like maybe this would never happen, but like 50 cents or something, I would buy that. Why not? Like that would be kind of cool just to expand it a bit. But yeah, I agree, dude. That is like a straight up scene from the game that was never meant to be a pre-order bonus, and they totally fucking took it out.
Yeah, completely took it out. It's such a cop out.
Yeah, super cop out dick move.
It is a really dick move to do. I was like, oh fuck me.
Well, dude. To kind of like wrap things up, you mentioned earlier there's so many characters in the game. Who would you say is your favorite character of the game, and who would you say is your least favorite character? Mike is your favorite?
Yeah, he really warmed up to me. It's just like he's got some great dialogue.
Yeah,
it's like how you said, like with him and Hannah, and then him and Jess, he used the exact same line.
I love. What is it? He is like where he's trying to hide from the window. Go, don't fucking when the bottle falls, he's like, no. And like you're totally thinking that, and it's so delivered well.
And he's running around. He's like, oh shit. It's like when the Wendigo moves across the room and you have to like run away.
That was like a Die Hard movie scene, by the way. Couldn't you imagine Bruce Willis running around doing that? Like,
I think some of the games are starting to do that. I think again, would you like Phantom Pain with like that entire scene with Quiet and Snake in the desert. Right. And there's like almost like a Hobbit thing where it's like a Hobbit, Lord of the Rings thing where he leans over the rock and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Soldier and he shoots the floor and whatever else. But I mean, like even with that, like with MGS, what was I going to say now? Shit.
The scene with Mike running around.
Yeah, there's something. Oh, I had a great analogy there for a second. No, they understand like. Oh no, that's it. They understand like, the dialogue is so. Sometimes it feels out of place, but it feels so right as well. Like with Joe Cars, where he's like, "Get the fuck out of there, Snake." It's like, yes, that's what I would say. I feel like, and obviously when we say Mike, he's like, "Oh shit." Like it's that kind of thing where the dialogue feels so more like there's an attachment to the person because that's what you do. And I think it suits Until Dawn a lot better, obviously because it's a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Wes Craven's like, rest in peace, man. But he even said like, the entire point is that he says like in this first Scream where. There's that phone where Sydney's on the phone and she's like, oh yeah, I don't watch horror movies because there's always that big-breasted woman who runs up the stairs rather than running out the front door. And then literally in the next scene, Sydney runs up the stairs when Ghostface is chasing her, which is like the complete of like, what the entire point is. It's that, it's mocking that reason, the fact that, you would do that in the situation. You can say, oh yeah, I would do this, but whatever else. But I love Mike. Mike's my favorite character in the entire game.
And least favorite?
Oh god, fucking hell, it's Emily. Like, oh god, like, fuck me. I've never wanted to kill someone.
M, don't be mad at M. Come on.
because I'm a nice guy. I didn't like probe her for like when she's hanging from the fire tower.
Oh right.
I didn't probe her because I was like, I'll save you. And I was being really nice. I wanted to keep the emotional attachment up. But the second playthrough, I was like, you're a fucking slag, and then I jumped off and let her fall. That was literally my playthrough. I let her jumped off that thing and like fell off.